Hello everybody, my name's Star Rapper and I'm very excited to bring you my spoiler-free novel review of Star Wars Life Debt Aftermath. This is written by Chuck Wendig and it is the second novel in the Aftermath trilogy. First off, I want to give a very special shout out to the people over at Penguin Random House for hooking me up with a review copy. But without further ado, let's get into my review. So, Life Debt takes place a few months after Star Wars Aftermath. And what we have is a focus on both the Empire side as well as the New Republic side. So on the Empire side, we focus on the character of Ray Sloane, who has now been promoted to Grand Admiral status, which is pretty much like the leader of this so-called dwindling empire now. And basically her story revolves around discovering the identity of this mysterious fleet commander that we meet in the epilogue of the original Aftermath. And on the New Republic side of things, we focus on the team of rebels that were in Aftermath who are now being called the Imperial Hunters because this team has been going out and extracting these Imperial holdout officers and leaders to bring them back to the New Republic to gain more information on what's going on with the Empire. So that team is comprised of Jas, the Zabrak bounty hunter. We have Sinjir, the ex-Imperial. We have Jam, who is the Special Forces rebel soldier. We have Nora Wexley, which is a rebel pilot, as well as her son, Temmin Wexley. And that comprises the team. And what the Imperial Hunters are doing now is they are now tasked with a secret mission to go and find Han Solo and Chewbacca, who have gone missing. And that kind of sets the tone for what the whole Life Debt story is going to be in a nutshell, just a real overview. So it's a very, very cool adventure here. And just real quick, my general thoughts before I get into any specifics here is this is an improvement over Aftermath. I think Chuck Wendig, heard a lot of the criticisms about the first novel, which not everybody loved. And, he definitely addressed some of these things for sure. And this is a great novel. So getting into my positives of this novel is first off, the Aftermath characters, naming Ray Sloane and all the Imperial Hunters, they are given so much more in this novel. Like it makes you care about these characters so much. They all have their own demons that they're fighting. Like Sinjir wondering why he's still working with the New Republic, and people like Josh, who is a bounty hunter who really has no allegiance, but was wondering like how all of a sudden is she starting to become friends with these people she's never really had friends with in her life. And you have people on the other side of the world like Ray Sloane, who is just, criticizing how certain people are viewing the Empire going forward. Like there's completely different factions of what is going on and what they want to do. So I really enjoyed just the amount of character development. One character starts out like this way, and by the end of the novel, they are much more of an open type of person. That's just an example of how things progress through this novel. But that wasn't only the characters that I enjoyed. There is great use of the movie characters, such as we have Wedge, Chewbacca, Leia, Mon Mothma, Admiral Akbar was in this. This was basically what a lot of people I think wanted to see in the original Aftermath, is a lot of focus on, not only new characters, but bringing in a balance of movie characters as well that felt like they weren't shoehorned in. Like these characters felt like they would be in these situations. We get to see some really awesome action events from these characters that we've been wanting to see for years now. And just a gripping story. This story is just all over better than the original Aftermath because it's first off, it's not focused on one planet, Akiva, that the first one was based on. It's a galaxy-wide spanning adventure, and we have characters that split off to do their own things in different parts of the galaxy, which really like makes these characters shine more because they're giving more of a spotlight. So I really enjoyed that for sure. And also the commentary on both sides of the war. So we have, people, you start to feel sympathetic for the Imperials, I'll be honest, at some point, because they start to look at the rebels as terrorists and stuff like that. And the other book, Lost Stars, did a great job with this, with humanizing both sides of the war. So we have great things going on with both sides that make you feel and empathize, which is a very powerful thing because for so long as Star Wars fans, everybody viewed the Empire as like this absolute evil force that, you know, nobody had a say in joining. But really, it was like these people, some of them didn't have any other place to go for help. The Empire was there to help them from the criminals. So it's nice seeing that contrast between both factions of the war. And another thing I liked in Life Debt was basically the building up of the plots from the previous interludes, which, you know, seemed like very standalone stories, but some of the interludes from the first book actually paid off and branched into complete storylines that were very prevalent throughout this novel. So I really enjoyed that. But speaking of interludes, there were some things that I didn't like, which leads me into my negatives. Some of the interludes just felt like they were way out of place. They were just there because they were like Force Awakens tie-in kind of stuff. And they kind of derailed the pace a little bit for me, and it took me out of it. So that I didn't really enjoy. Another like little nitpick I have about this was the writing style. It was kind of, you know, a little strange in some places, like with the third person unique perspective. Like there was like some like list in the prose with like A, B, C, and there was like we had these nods to the reader, which was like outside of universe, which kind of broke me out of the story a little bit. But they were just minor things. Overall, this story was excellent. What really helped this novel was including that original movie cast. You know, Han Solo, Leia, Chewie, like that really was the stuff we wanted to see in the first Aftermath, but really didn't get more than a glimpse of it. So this is a very enjoyable book. One thing I will say in preface is, please, you guys got to read the original Aftermath. If you go into this book cold, you're not going to know who the heck these characters are, these new characters, and it's not going to be a great payoff, because for me, they had such great character development from the first Aftermath into this Aftermath. We see these people growing as a team on the Imperial Hunters. We see, you know, Grand Admiral Sloane, you know, questioning ways of the Empire and how they do things. It's just a very interesting take on the, you know, the universe, the galaxy now. So guys, you guys got to read this. I'm Star Raptor. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Did you enjoy this video? Then make sure you go ahead and hit that thumbs up symbol. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Subscribing to my channel will help me out, and it helps you guys out, keeping up to speed on all my latest content. Speaking of which, you can catch my weekly Star Wars show down over there. You can see a recent review I've done over there, and you can follow me on social media, Twitter @StarRaptor, as well as Facebook.com/StarRaptor.